How's everybody doing today? We want to give everybody a few minutes to get in here, get settled in, and we'll get started shortly. As always with these open Q&A sessions, we would like this to be an open dialogue. We would like everybody to ask questions to clarify their understanding about the PennDOT Mentor-Protege Program. And if we do not get those questions, then we have kind of a loose, tentative call agenda that we'll start to follow and we'll start to move into. And that call agenda is here. So we'll start with Streamline sign-up process, and then we'll talk a little bit about why you don't see a tier room if you're a potential protege and you don't see that you're in any tiers. Why not? And how to get yourself into the tier rooms. We're going to talk about making connections and sending messages. All right. How to check and accept connections in the system, how to send messages after you have those connections, and how to embed links in those messages so that you can send people specific information about your company, about your organization, or about opportunities. We're going to talk about soliciting mentors and proteges. We're going to talk about sending, again, profiles, resumes, documents, and tutorial links to potential mentors or maybe to proteges. All right. We'll talk about attachments on messages, limitations of messages that you send in ProRank Academy. Then we're going to get into some advanced tips and strategies for using ProRank Academy Mentor-Protege Program information to engage mentors on ECMS. So we're going to show you some unique tips and strategies that you can use to really have some unique icebreakers and to build rapport with hopefully some new primes or potential mentors on ECMS. And then we'll close out with talk about finding PennDOT specific training and resources on PRA that will make those engagements of potential mentors or primes on ECMS that much more impactful, hopefully that much more successful for you. So before we start to move through any of these points or topics, I just want to kind of open it up to the general attendees and see if you have any questions. You can place those questions in the chat and the staff will read those off and we'll get to them that way. Or you can open up your mic, unmute, and ask your questions. But again, we would like this to be an open dialogue, and we would like to answer questions that you have specifically on this call. If you don't ask questions, then what will happen is these calls will get more and more kind of detailed as we kind of go into the weeds, because all of the previous calls, all of the more general information can be accessed right under here under your resources tab. And if you go to MPP resources, then you'll see at the very top, we have the open Q&A sessions. This is the link to the entire playlist that we have. These are the first 3 that we did on December 1st, the 8th, and the 15th. All right, so you can get to them there. There's also the timestamps, and this is the link to the actual video, and then the timestamps to the different topics and different things covered in these videos. This is the link to the video on the 8th, different timestamps. All right. And again, if you did like this whole page, the way that this page works, it's full of videos. And underneath of the video, it has timestamps to like questions or relevant topics that were covered. So if you do like a Control F, I guess on a PC, or like a Command F on a Mac, then you can pull up a search and you can actually just search the entire page by different search term and see what's going on. So before I get started with my tentative agenda that I went through, were there any questions? Do we have any questions in the chat, Rudy or Ken, before I get started? And I'll start with the Streamline sign-up process.
No questions in the chat thus far.
No questions in the chat. So first, we just want to make sure that everybody knows how to get started with the Mentor-Protege Program, how to participate as either a mentor or as a protege in this program. If you are already signed up and you're already in the program rooms, you already have access to the tier room, then you're already good to go. If you're not signed up and you want to know how to get started, The fastest, easiest way to get it done is to go to mppsurvey.com. All right. You could type in mppsurvey.com. And what we can do is we'll drop that in the chat and you can go there. And if you want to get started as a potential protege, the page that you land on when you go to mppsurvey.com will be the questionnaire that you need to complete. Okay. You're going to walk through this questionnaire. You're going to answer these questions. This questionnaire is dynamic, so it will change based on your answers, contractor or consultant, and it'll ask you the right questions based on the answers. If you don't have all of the answers, then you can click on this little save and continue later option. And what this will do is generate a link that you can copy right then and there to whatever you have saved in this document. And it will also send you an email to the email address, of that link. That link will basically allow you to come back to mppsurvey.com and pick up where you left off, and it will remember everything. So you don't have to do it all at once if you don't want to. All right. Now, the important thing to remember is that proteges, when they land on mppsurvey.com, they're automatically on the page. They're automatically on the protege questionnaire. If you are a mentor that would like to get started, then you are going to need to read this. Please click here to complete the mentor questionnaire. So you would just click this link here, and that's going to redirect you to the PennDOT MPP Prime Mentor Survey. Okay. And you would complete your version of the MPP questionnaire, and then you would just submit. It's even more streamlined than the protege. Now, the act of completing either of these surveys is automatically going to, if you're not already in ProRank Academy, it's going to create a new ProRank Academy user. Okay. So for that reason, if you're already using ProRank Academy, all right, then you want to do these surveys either as a mentor or as a protege, but you want to use the email address, the same email address that you're using over here for your ProRank Academy profile. And as long as you do that, then this profile will automatically be converted into a mentor-protege program participant. You'll be put into all of the correct rooms, and you'll get access to all of the correct resources. All right. If you are not already in ProRank Academy, then the act of completing either one of these questionnaires or these surveys will automatically create your ProRank Academy profile. It will put that profile into all of the correct rooms and groups and give you all of the correct access. And it's also going to generate a welcome email that it's going to explain to you more about your particular role and what you need to do next to start participating in the Mentor-Protege program. All right. So that is pretty much the streamlined sign-up process. And I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows how to sign up as a mentor or as a protege. Now, you might have a situation where you see yourself, I'm going to go over here to these resources, MPP resources, MPP Room Reports. All right. These room reports are how you can see if you're in these programs or not, right? Or who exactly is in these programs. You have to come to the drop down. All right. And if you're in the Mentor Protege program, when you come to this drop down, you're going to see rooms here. You'll probably only see about 4 rooms, but everybody should have access at least to this PennDOT Mentor-Protege Program room. This is the top level room. All right. And if we select that and we hit on search, then you can see everybody that is even interested in the Mentor-Protege program, right? You can see their first name, their last name, their company name. All right. If they're involved in the program, they're in a cohort, right? If they're not involved in the program, see, we have like a potential protege. How would you convert yourself from this status, from a potential protege? If you come to the list and you see yourself as a potential protege, right? But you're not in any cohort, you're not in any tier. That means that what you did was you identified yourself as interested in the program, but you did not complete the survey at mppsurvey.com. All right. So what you want to do in that situation is if you're already logged into ProRank Academy, which she is, you saw her in there, you could just come to your home profile. You would scroll down here to this potential MPP Proteges banner, and you would just click on this little banner here and complete the questionnaire. All right. The act of completing that questionnaire will automatically then put you into tier rooms. It will give you more tiers and more access to the actual mentor-protege program. Right now, this individual that we saw would not see anything but the PennDOT Mentor-Protege room. This individual, Jane, would not see anything but that top level room until she goes and completes that survey. Once she does that survey, then she would be recognized as a formal protege. She would actually be put into one of the three tiers, either tier 1, if they're not business partner registered yet, tier 2, if they're registered and they're not qualified, and we can filter this list by tier just to see, the folks that are, this is going to put all the NAs on top. And then it would be tier 3 if Jane's company was ready to work, all right, if they were considered a ready to work firm. All right.
We did have a question in regard to a tier 3 firm. Question is from Eileen. Can an underutilized tier 3 firm be a protege on multiple projects?
Yes, they can. Great question. And that's why it's important to understand as a protege when we come back up here, man, and this is a lot of folks on this list, right? So why it's important to understand who is underutilized and who isn't. Right. And you might want to click on that underutilized. And this way, that's a very important question, because if you're a mentor and you have a potential protege that said, yes, we agree to be on this project with you, and they said yes to 5 other potential mentors, and another potential mentor's project happens first, if that firm is not underutilized, they're not going to be able to work with you on your project until they're done the other one. Right. If they are underutilized, then they can work on multiple projects simultaneously. And the whole point of that is to start to, hopefully increase their utilization. So yes, tier 3 proteges can work on multiple MPP projects simultaneously if they are underutilized. If they're underutilized, it'll say underutilized, yes. So not tier 1, not tier 2, they said tier 3, because tier 3 are the firms that are ready to work, right? So the tier 3 underutilized are what we're looking for. You're talking about working on multiple MPP projects simultaneously. Great question. Any other questions before we move on?
No, that's it.
Okay, great question. So now let's talk about sending messages, making connections, and really networking on this site. All right. And first of all, just so you understand how the site is laid out, the site is designed to educate yourself or your company or others. Everything underneath of the My Course list is its own tab. It's its own page. And then every other sub page under that is its own page. But these are all related to the education of users on ProRec Academy. This is what we call the Educate family of options, all right? Under Activity Feed, which is its own page, it's consolidating all of the activity from all of the rooms, is everything that we say this site does to help folks network, all right? Educate, network, and get work is what we say this site helps people do. And everything under Activity Feed, we call this your networking resources, all right? And messaging, we say falls under networking, all right? So if you just hover under Activity Feed and click on messages, what that's going to do is that's going to take you to your messaging center, all right? So once you have connections, right, you have to develop connections with individuals. And once you have connections with individuals, then you're able to generate messages, all right, and have messaging threads with individuals, right? And you would just, click on that, click the 2, and you can start typing the name of anybody that you have a connection with, right? So I can type in Rudy, and it should pull up anybody all of my connections who are, whose name is then, going to be Rudy, or it's going to be similar, it's going to have that. And I could then send Rudy an email. I could just say, hi, I have a little sample email here. and just say, Rudy's a prime contractor, or Rudy is somebody that I'm trying to do business with. I'm going to go over here on another tab, and just so you're not confused, this is just another tab that I have open. And that's a trick too, is keeping multiple tabs open, so you can kind of bounce back and forth and get information that you might want. So I went back to my main profile. And when you submit a capability statement on ProRank Academy, view our capability statement, I could come here and I could copy link address. What I did was I just right-clicked on this, all right? And I copied the link address. And I'm going to show you another way to get that link that's a little simpler, if that blew your mind. But I could just say, click here to view our capability statement. So what I would want to do is maybe do something like that, then click on this little A, then hit on my little link, and then I'm going to do Control V, right? It's a little shortcut, or I could right click and hit paste link, right? But if I do return, or I clicked on that green checkbox, now I could send, Rudy a direct link to my capability statement. All right. And this is pretty much how you can embed links. You could send a direct link to maybe your profile, right? And all you would do is just copy the link. You could type whatever you want and link whatever you want to it. So, some people are like, yeah, it's embedding a link. But to other people, trust me, it's a revelation. And they didn't know that they could do this, right? And, this is how you could do this with anything. You could do this in Gmail. This isn't just ProRank Academy, but getting proficient at this is very important for learning how to kind of promote yourself, especially on this site, right? Because you could make a nice, robust email, and you can connect your profile, you can connect your capability statement, you could connect any other documents that you have, and you can connect your ECMS information, you connect your website, link, whatever you want to, and then start to send it to people in these messages. So that's just a very important concept. And you can also customize your text any other way. It's going to say see text. So if I want to bold it, bold, italicize, I can bullet, right? I can number, can make quotes, This is how you embed the link. Like I showed you before, once you put the link in there, you would click the green check, or you could hit enter. If you want to cancel, just click on the red, right? Or you can actually put like a string of code or something like that in there that would, might be some kind of like a text string or code string or something like that, right? So, but these are all just different options that you have when sending messages. And again, we're under our networking family of options. And before you can send anybody a message, right, you have to first, you can come to the community. I'm going to reset this. I was working with June. And that's something else to remember. If you want to see the full community, hit reset, because these filters will remember what your options are always, right? I mean, for days, they'll remember, what your options are. So make sure you hit reset so you can see the full community. But if you're not connected to somebody, then you'll see a plus icon and you'll see the option to connect. And me hitting that plus icon, I just sent a request. And once they accept the request, then I'll have the chat. So what I'll do is I see Dean is on. I'm going to send Dean option to connect. All right. And what I also want to show you all is how to check, messages notifications and connection notifications. So you can see, all right, when folks are accepting and requesting you as connections. That's important. Just understanding how to initiate those connections. You can use these filters to find different types of firms, right? If you're a diverse business, maybe you want to find non-diverse business, non-diverse owned business employees, right? And filter a list of them out and say, wow, we got 93 of those. These might be good folks to start to look at, to reach out to make connections with, right? Some might be in the Mentor-Protege Program, some might not be, right? Some might be applicable to PennDOT, some might not be. Any prime that is ready to work in ECMS, that's business partner registered, qualified or pre-qualified, and in good standing, they could be a potential mentor for you. And they might not know about the PennDOT Mentor-Protege Program yet, right? So that's why we want to show you kind of how to use these resources to identify these folks, to find them, and to invite them to this program, because that's going to be a major part of networking, whether you do it on this site or whether you do it on ECMS. And we're going to show you that in a little bit. Something else that I wanted to show you too, when you're thinking about making connections with folks or connecting, you can use these different filters. Maybe you want to find diverse business owners, right? If you are a potential mentor. And then maybe you want to filter those diverse business owners by UCP, PAUCP, right? Pennsylvania, DBEs, because only PAUCP DBEs can be in the Mentor-Protege program, right? So now maybe if you're a mentor, you have a list of potential proteges that you could ask to participate in the Mentor-Protege program that you don't see in any of the rooms. You don't see in the tier 3 room, or you don't see that they're participating, or they might not know about the program. So this is 133 DBEs that, probably don't all know about the program yet. So it works both ways. And you can use these filters as constraining filters. Maybe you want to just see contractors that meet that criteria, right? Then it's going to show you, now it's only 52 firms that fall into that, right? Maybe you just want to see certain services performed that meet that criteria. So this is how you use the community search, right? MPP questionnaire completion, yes, right? That's going to tell you the firms that are actually in the MPP. Let's put that on, right? Go ahead and filter again. So these are constraining filters. So now it's down to 10. Right? So these are 10 contractors. Now, what this isn't showing us is tiers, right? But we can just go into the tier rooms and see the reports, and you could see, who's tier 3 or who's not, right? And when you want to see any of these profiles, all you would do is click on the actual name, and it's going to open up that profile. And you can see all of the information here we've been able to gather from the information that they've provided us. This is also why it's very important for you to edit your profile. As soon as you come into ProRank Academy, you'll see this edit button. And this edit button, the questions here on your profile that I was just scrolling through when we were showing you Juan, they are tied to the questions that we're asking you here. And the more information that you give here, the more complete your profile will be on the front end. All right. So give all of the information that you can, and that will help you network with individuals more effectively and help them network with you. We're going to come over to this Get Work section before we go into some advanced kind of tips for using ECMS. And what I wanted to do was bring you down here to the Submit Capability Statement and Resumes. All right. I want to show you how this is going to correlate with this portion of your profile. Whenever you submit a capability statement, then that's going to be company-wide. Everybody in your company that's attached to your company, they will have this version of their capability statement on their profile that can then be clicked and accessed and viewed, right? And I actually have different versions of my capability statement that I'll show you in the dashboard. But a resume underneath of that, that's going to be specific to the individual profile. All right. So that individual might have a specific resume that is applicable to them. Right. So the way that you create those links on your profile, right, is by coming here and going to submit resume or capability statement. The act of submitting either a capability statement, which will be organizational across your organization, right? And you answer the questions here, and you can attach your actual PDF document down here at the bottom. And this will create like a virtual avatar for it. You can add videos to it or whatever you want. You do a little bit more to it. If you want to do a resume, then you're going to complete your resume here, right? You're going to answer these questions here, and you're going to complete this information. And then this will not only attach to your profile, but when we come here to the jobs and projects section, right? Because we said that this is our educate section. This is our networking section. This is our get work section. The first option on the top of our get work options is going to be our jobs and projects board, right? Where all of our jobs and projects are posted. And remember, I showed you a trick before where if you type in MPP here in the keyword search and just hit return, it'll filter out all of your MPP kind of notices here, right? So this is how you see MPP notices, but MPP notices, you can't respond to them in ProRank Academy. But like a subcontract notice, we also have primes posting subcontract notices. Also, if you're, say, a mentor that's looking for a protege for your MPP team, then you can post that as an opportunity here, as a job or project here. And then what a protege could do is respond to this with their resume or their capability statement on file. And not just a protege, but any subcontractor that creates a capability statement or a resume can use that to respond to real solicitations that primes are posting here. And I can select any of the resumes or capability statements that I've created. Once you create them, they're gonna come here to your resume dashboard where you can manage your created resumes or capability statements, right? And you can add another one, but you can make as many as you need to. And say I wanted to use this one. I showed you one that we created for ProRank Academy. This is an example of a different capability statement that would be more for, say, diversity consulting. You might have different capability statements because your company might have different capabilities that aren't necessarily connected all the time. So whenever you go to that job or project, you can choose from the capability statement or resume that you have on file that you think would fit that job or project best, okay? So again, we're trying to make experts at building yourself up and at building your profile up, because now we want to show you how you can use this information. MPP notices. I'm going to show you an MPP notice really quick before I go to ECMS. We already have some on top. We can filter these out. We post all of the MPP notices for upcoming mentor-protege projects that will be listed on ECMS. They're listed here on ProRank Academy first before they're listed anywhere on ECMS, all right? And I'm showing you this and I'm telling you this because if you know how to utilize this, at the very least, if you're a protege or a subcontractor that's trying to use ECMS to break the ice, to get on a new team, right? Or to meet a new prime, to get a meeting with a new prime in a specific region or a specific area, then you can use this information from the Mentor-Protege Program or ProRank Academy to make friends on ECMS at a high level, to create small talk, but show that you understand the PennDOT process, that you understand how to find PennDOT opportunities, and to potentially even show them opportunities that they weren't aware of. All right. So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to go to ECMS. From Google, you can literally just put in ECMS and it'll probably come up. You can put in PennDOT ECMS and it'll definitely come up. ECMS homepage, right? And this is the website, ecms.penndot.gov. If you don't know, this is where all heavy highway construction bidding opportunities, as well as civil engineering, design, project management, when it comes to heavy highway construction, they're all let and advertised through this system. So everybody that wants to do that work for PennDOT has to be a business partner, registered user of this system, and you have to know how to navigate this system. So we have trainings on ProRank Academy that are going to teach you how to navigate this system. But you can do what we're going to show you how to do without having any access to the system. You can do it as a guest. So if you want to follow along, you can click on the click here. Once you get to this website, ecms.penndot.gov, click OK. What we're going to do is show you first how to make friends as a contractor using maybe information from ProRank Academy or your MPP. So say you need a mentor, you need a contractor mentor in one of these counties. Let's say it is you're looking for a mentor in a county that is like Pike County, right? A county that there's only a couple construction mentors in there right now. And they might not be looking for anybody in Pike County, but you might be based out of Pike County. That might be where you are, right? So how can I generate a mentor for myself that's based in Pike County. All right. I would first start by probably coming to this solicitation, getting this information. I would take note of the ECMS number and I might copy this link, right? And then I would come back over to ECMS. I would go to solicitations. I would go to contractors. I would go to bid packages, right? This is how you see upcoming bids, all of the upcoming heavy highway construction bids for PennDOT for the next 52 weeks. Bid packages by let date, next 52 weeks. That's what this is right here. This is a list of all of them, all right? And it made a fool out of me last time, but I think they might have fixed it, so I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna try to sort by county, all right? We did the county sort. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for Pike County, right? Because there might not be a lot of activity in Pike County, right? So look, there's only one project right now in Pike County. Now I know it's not the same project that's on ProRank Academy, because I'm going to look at the project number right here, and this is the project number. And if I go back to our project number here, then this was it's a different project number. All right, but it is a construction. We know that it's a construction project, so it didn't actually get let yet. So these firms that are looking at this job probably don't even know about that other job yet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you all the way over here. If I clicked on this would be the bid package for this particular job. But what I'm going to do is take you all the way over to this little piece of paper icon for this project. This little piece of paper looking icon right here. And if we scroll back to the top, it would say LOP on top of that column. LOP stands for List of Plan Holders. All right. And a list of plan holders is everybody that has downloaded the plans, the specs for that job. They're the ones that are thinking about bidding this job in Pike County, right? So let's take a look at who's on this list, all right? What this is doing is literally giving you the contractors, a list of prime contractors right here that we know that they're interested in working in Pike County. And it's telling us exactly which ones are the prime contractors. That's important because if they're just service providers, then they're probably just that, service providers. They're not going to be primes. They're not going to be probably potential mentors. But anybody that you see here as a prime contractor would be a great potential mentor for you, especially if you're into paving, if you're into the type of scope of work that these firms are doing on this job. But not only is it giving you a list of companies, it's giving you their address, it's giving you a contact name, it's giving you a phone number, it's giving you a fax, and it's giving you their email address. So you can literally reach out and say, hey, Jason, I saw you on the list of plan holders for ECMS project number 11407 in Pike County. Did you know that PennDOT has a Mentor-Protege Program that has projects available in Pike County that you might be able to get a $25,000 line item for helping me get work codes in? Here, you can take a look here. And then that's where you would send him an email and you would use that little embed link, right? Because this is just a link that you can copy. You can send him this job, right? Even better than that, what you can do is send them a link to the survey, right? And get them signed up as a mentor. How would you do that? All right. How would you get the link to send them the link to sign up as a mentor? You could come right down here from your homepage, all right, and hover your mouse on this potential MPP mentors banner and right click and copy link address. All right. And just by doing that, if I do that, when I paste that, that's the actual link right there, straight to the mentor survey. So I could make myself Jason or William's friend by just telling them a little bit about this program, sending them a link. Well, what's this? What is this Mentor-Protege Program? I didn't hear about this. I'm not sure. Well, that's where you would want to send them to ProRankAcademy.com, right? This is the public facing page before you log in that everybody has access to. And right here from the public facing page, here's another link. I'm going to drop this link into the chat. All right. And you could send, this is all part of one email that you're going to send to Jason or William, introducing yourself, saying, hey, we're a certified DBE that's also ready to work in ECMS. We're part of this Mentor-Protege Program. You can learn more about it here, right? That's the public-facing resource page for everybody that I just dropped you all in the chat, right? And you could send them, that MPP resource page will at least educate them to what the Mentor-Protege Program is. The next link would be you could sign up for it here. That's where you would send them the direct survey link that I showed you how to copy, And once you get in the program and you sign up, you can view our profile or our capability statement here, right? So this is a way that you can literally generate your own mentor based on a specific region that you're targeting, all right? We just looked at Pike County and we looked at a project for Pike County, but you could come back to the solicitations for contractors and, target any county that way. And like I said, this is LOP, this is list of plan holders. And in Allegheny County, this is the list of plan holders for this project, right? And eventually, these projects that you're seeing in the project, this project eventually will be on this list. So even the fact that you're telling them about projects that aren't even on ECMS yet, it sets you apart. It shows that you have a different level of wherewithal. And when you're trying to break the ice, when you're trying to create a relationship, trust me, they're going to remember you. And when you meet them at the pre-bid meeting, right? And you say, yeah, I sent you that email. We talked a little bit. I told you about the Mentor-Protege. Oh, that's you. Now you're the smart one. All right. Trust me. Let me show you how you can do this kind of for consultants. A little bit different step, but the equivalent for consultants, you can do it a couple different ways. You could go to consultants. You could go to the advanced search. And then you could do a search for consultants by the type of consulting that you want to mentor for. You want to mentor for inspection, for, any of these different, maybe some of these are closer to what you do, right? Then click on that, select that option or the multiple, that you want, and then click on that search field, right? And now what this is going to do, it's going to be one extra step to get the contact information that you need. If I just click on this, right, this top one, then it's going to give me their phone number. It's going to give me, their address. But what I really need to do is get this business partner ID number, right? Copy this. I'm going to go to business partner. I'm going to do a search. Once you find the firm that you want, that you're interested in reaching out, and I'm going to go to consultant. Hopefully they come up under just consultant. And I'm going to do a search. And so now this is giving me all of their emails for all of their offices, right? It's giving me the contact name. So again, I can use my same tactics, go back into ProRank Academy. I can get I would start with the public information, right? That's outside of ProRank Academy. That is on ProRankAcademy.com. When you're outside of ProRank Academy, because the link address is ProRankAcademy.com. When you're inside of ProRank Academy, because it turns to learn.ProRankLLC.com. So whenever you see this, somebody will need to be logged in normally to access information here, right? But whenever you see this, the general public can access any of these pages. These are forward-facing pages. Right. So if you just copy this link that I just dropped to you in the chat and you send that to your new friends that we're showing you how to find in ECMS, then again, this is how you break onto those teams. This is how you differentiate yourself from the other subs that are waiting for faxes to come through or waiting for emails, waiting for primes to solicit them and then responding. Right. This is how we say you be a hunter and not a gatherer. Right. And we just really wanted to drive that part of it home. And you don't have to use ProRank Academy to send those emails or embed links, to use that tactic of embedding links. You can do that from Gmail, from anything. But we wanted to make sure that you understand that you can get these contacts out of ECMS and you can educate them as a means to look really smart, to break the ice, because you're supposed to be engaging these companies in ECMS to build relationships anyway. But what do you say, right? How do you break the ice? without sounding like everybody else. Well, what we're doing is showing you a way to break the ice and add value for both you and that company immediately and show them that you know what you're doing. All right. So one of the final things that we kind of want to drill home and show you is how to access PennDOT specific information from the system, from ProRank Academy, so that when you do reach out to these companies, when you do send those icebreakers in ECMS, when you do make those connections and they start asking you questions, you know the answers, right? So you're not green. You know what your business partner ID number is. You know what work codes you're pre-qualified for. You know what work codes that you're seeking to be mentored in specifically that you don't have yet, right? When they ask you, well, what work codes are you trying to acquire that you don't have yet? What do you already have? You know, what are work codes? What does that mean? So again, what I want to do is I'm going to have you go to the My Course list under Educate. Okay. And this is under your education, educate, network, get work, right? We're going to go back to the educate options. We're going to click on My Course list. This is a listing of all of the courses that you're enrolled in automatically, and don't let it overwhelm you because you can filter them with this search. And what I'm going to have you do is put in a simple term, ECMS. ECMS. It's already there for me because I search it all the time, right? But what that's going to do is filter all of the courses that you're in your list down to the ones that have ECMS in them, right? And then what you can do is start to go through and look at what's specific to you. If you're not business partner registered, remember when we said everybody that wants to do business on ECMS has to be first a business partner registered. All right. And if you're not business partner registered, which is the activating your user ID, your password, your administrative user to actually log in, then you can't be on a team, you know, on a PennDOT project for heavy highway construction or engineering and design. All right. So this is the first step. And this is a course that will teach you how to complete that process, the business partner registration process. That's the same for everybody. All right. After that, it's going to differ. The resources, the process, and ECMS is going to differ. If you notice, I showed you a different step for consultants to view that information that I did for contractors, right? So this first course, 22.2, is PennDOT ECMS for Contractors. And this has lessons that are designed specifically to help contractors navigate and understand the PennDOT Engineering and Construction Management System, ECMS, all right? It starts with the pre-qualification application. Then we get into intro for using ECMS for contractors. So how to find projects and firms and past bid results and selection results and stuff like that, you know, and then we get into the bid process, and then we get into like force accounts and things like that for contractors. But the main one is intro to using PennDOT ECMS for contractors. There's 4 different topics. That means there's 4 different subjects in there, which are, you know, if I'm going to go all the way in there so you can see them. They're crossed out for me because I've done them. But all you do is, you know, you watch the video, consume the content.
My name is Kyron Robinson.
You can make it, you can enlarge it here. You can watch it on YouTube here if you like, but then you can take the short quiz by clicking on this link here and answering the questions. That'll drive home the primary, you know, and the most important points of each video. So that will help you get up to speed on this information if you're a contractor. And consultants have a similar, I'm going to go back, I'm going to do my search again. Or let me show you another way I could do it because I know the course numbers. I could just do 22 point and I could search for that. And that's going to filter everything that has those numbers in it, right? And I can get back that way because it's 22.2 and 22.3. 22.2 was the one for contractors. 22.3 is consultants. And this is a similar course for consultants. It'll walk you through submitting your consultant qualifications package. All right. It will give you an introduction to using ECMS for consultants, help you navigate those past selection results, searching, business partner search, like I showed you how to do, you know, the second step of finding that consultant information that we showed you and reviewed. It's going to show you information on the consultant overhead rate submission and also how to renew your annual qualifications package. That has to be done every 12 months. All right. So these are resources to kind of help you cover your initial base. We would call this like PennDOT 101 information. But what I'd like to do now is show you a group room where you can get higher level PennDOT information. All right. And that would be, I'm going to leave the educational section, which is the My Course List. I'm going to go back under the networking section, and I'm going to go to group rooms here. I'm going to go to group rooms. And what I'm going to do is, I think I can just put up PennDOT. And this should filter out my PennDOT specific group rooms. And this is what I was looking for. I could have put in ECMS, I could have put in PennDOT, I could have put in independent study. ECMS would have probably been the fastest. But the PennDOT ECMS independent study room. All right, this is a public room. Just click on it, and you can make sure you click on the join. Don't leave the group, but you'll have a join button there if you're not already a member. And once you join this room, all right, you have discussions, documents, members, but the important thing are the courses. The courses in this room are from the back end of the ECMS training calendar, and they are very high level courses. And again, you could click on the course, and then there'll be a course synopsis there. It'll tell you more about the description, the course, what's there, what it consists of. And a lot of these are like Adobe Connect sessions.
The course you're about to complete contains narration. If you can hear the narration, click the Go to Next Page button.
So, check these out. Like I said, these are high-level trainings that you can also get course completion credits for.
This section will focus on common
stuff. But I wanted to close out by showing you this room, which again is the PennDOT ECMS Independent Study Room. And these are all of the independent study courses from the ECMS training calendar that are buried on the back end of the ECMS training calendar. It's like 50 different topics covering a range of things, from civil construction engineering, that are far past the scope of supportive services, understanding of engineering and construction and things like that. So I wanted to let you know that you do have more advanced trainings and resources here that are coming straight off of ECMS. And with that, just want to see if there's any other questions, or, I want to kind of close out and just, again, drive home the fact that all of these videos and all of this information that we're sharing with you is accessible or will be accessible through resources, MPP resources here. And this is on ProRank Academy, right? But we also have a public version of this page. You can tell we're on ProRank Academy because you have the Learn there. You have your key documents down here at the bottom too, just to make sure you have your downloads, and these templates will be updated shortly. So check back here. These are living links, living documents, but this is behind the firewall of ProRank Academy. If you go to prorankacademy.com, however, and click on resource page, this is the exact same page. These are the exact same resources, but these are forward facing to the public. Anybody can access this without logging in, right? And then this page will help them understand how to get signed up for ProRank Academy. What is ProRank Academy, right? About ProRank Academy, about the memberships, right? Join for free, right? So just wanted you to understand the external prorankacademy.com page versus the internal ProRank Academy site. Do we have any questions before we close out? We'll try to respect everybody's time. We are at 11:57, pretty much on the dot.
And just a reminder, I did drop a link to a post-event survey. It's a very brief. It's only about 3 or 4 questions. Your feedback is very important as we continue to develop the Mentor-Protege Program so that we can make sure that it is the best program it can be.
We would also encourage you to continue to join these Thursday MPP navigational calls. If for no other reason, come on to ProRank Academy, see who's online, and make connections. Use these calls as real-time networking calls, because maybe if folks haven't accepted your report, let me show you that real quick too, how to view connection requests. If I just click on my little my little head here, my face. I have notifications, right? I have messages. I have connections, right? My connections, pending connection requests. So I can access all that from this little drop down here. And it took me right into, my requests are here. All of my connections are here. And what this did was actually bring me down to my profile, down to this section of my profile, which is connections. So all it did, it was a shortcut here. All right. So this vertical menu here, also notifications is another good one. All right. Read or unread. This is where you'll see if people send you connection requests and things like that. So check your notifications too. If you all are checking these now, you're probably seeing people right now that have requested you, that are pending, that it might have been waiting for weeks or days or whatever. So make sure you accept them. And once you accept them formally, by coming here and checking your notifications, read or unread, checking your messages, new messages or, site notices or coming to connections, but once you accept them, then you'll be able to connect and communicate back and forth with them. All right. So, and you'll be able to send and receive your messages. And remember, you can initiate messages here. You can initiate messages here. These options here, again, are just duplicating a lot of these options here and here, right? So these are just various ways to get to a lot of the same places. So play around with the site, navigate, you won't break anything. And we will be back next Thursday with another MPP call to continue to try to show you strategies, to try to make this program small, to help you get your minds around it. And we really hope that this helps and adds value for everybody. We thank you all for joining.